Uh, the photochemical smoke, as we have read that photochemical smoke means smoke and fog. These smoke and fog are when combined, it will make the smoke, and it will cause. It is the cause because of peroxyacetyl nitrate, pen, and sulfur dioxide, which are secondary pollutants, and these secondary pollutants will cause the photochemical smoke in metropolitan cities, because the metropolitan cities will are rich in automobiles and factories, industries, and these from these uh, things, the primary pollutants are emitted. Uh, these emitted primary pollutants will react and will make secondary pollutants, and these secondary pollutants, smoke, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and sulfur dioxide, will be the main reason of photochemical smoke in congested metropolitan cities. What is DDT among the following? A. Greenhouse gas. B. A fertilizer. C. Biodegradable pollutant. And D is non-biodegradable pollutant. As we have learned that DDT is a non-biodegradable pollutant or a persistent pollutant or a stable consistent pollutant, uh, which remains uh, which remains in environment for many years. So the DDT is non-biodegradable pollutant. It can't be decomposed or into, or can't be break down in other, in non-harmful non-harmful compounds. So DDT uh, is the non-biodegradable pollutants. It is also called persistent pollutant or consistent conservative pollutant. So the answer is D, non-biodegradable pollutants. In metropolitan cities like Mumbai and Calcutta, the major atmospheric pollutants are A. Carbon monoxide and oxides of sulfur, hydrocarbons, B. Hydrocarbons and hot air, C is pollens and marsh gas, and D is ozone. So as we know, in metropolitan cities like Mumbai and Calcutta, there are lots of automobiles and industries are there. So the most major atmospheric pollutants will be from the automobiles and industries. So from automobiles, we can see that carbon monoxide, carbon dioxides, and oxides of sulfur like sulfur dioxides are the main gases which are excreted by the automobiles. So the main major pollutants will be carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and sulfur dioxide. So the answer will be carbon monoxide and oxides of sulfur. The next question is, it is said that the Taj Mahal may be destroyed due to uh, A is a flood in Yamuna river, B is decomposition of marble as a result of high temperature, and the C is air pollutants released from oil refinery of Mathura, and D is all of the above. So as we know that flood in Yamuna river can't destroy the Taj Mahal because it's a huge monument, and decomposition of marble as a result of high temperature. This will not be the answer. The answer will be air pollutants released from oil refinery of Mathura. The oil refinery of Mathura actually it is the refining of oils which removes the gases from its chimneys, and this chimneys the gases are nitrogen and sulfur, which reacts with the air or oxygen of air, and in result it will give oxides of nitrogen and sulfur, and these oxides will cause the blackening and yellowing of blackening and yellowing of white marble, mar- white marble, white and red marble of Taj Mahal. This whitening and blackening and yellowing of marble is called a stone cancer. So the answer will be air pollutants released from oil refinery of Mathura, that is C. Radioactive strontium as a result of radioactive fallout is A. Strontium 80, strontium 90, strontium 85, and strontium 95. Um, the radioactive strontium 90 is the dangerous, most dangerous isotope of strontium. Uh, this strontium 98 is a radioactive isotope of strontium, and it is produced by nuclear fission. Nuclear fission, and it's a radiobiological hazard of worldwide fallout. And this it has a long term effect on the life of our daily life. The long term effect, because it goes in the body and accumulated there, so it has the long term effect. uh, Ingestion of and accumulation of these radioactive element or isotope, uh, and it cause the cancer in human beings. So the radioactive strontium as a result of radioactive fallout is strontium 90. Our next question is, what are the chief pollutants of the atmosphere which are most likely to deplete the ozone layer? A. Sulfur dioxide, B. Nitrogen oxide and fluorocarbons, C. Carbon dioxide, and D is carbon monoxide. Nitrogen oxide uh, or oxides of nitrogen and chlorofluorocarbon, that is our CFC compounds, and coolants from refrigerator, filling agents in the form of plastic and aerosol. Aerosol is the reason of depletion of ozone layer. Uh, these chemicals react with the ozone layer, and when UV rays fall on these layers, there becomes a hole due to this depletion, and the ozone layer actually this ozone layer protects our environment from UV rays to come on Earth. But because of these compounds, the ozone layer is depleted or deteriorated, so there becomes a hole in this ozone umbrella, and the harmful UV rays falls on Earth, and it cause the harmful effect. So the chief pollutants of the atmosphere, which are most likely to deplete the ozone layer, is nitrogen oxide and fluorocarbons, that is our B. Our next question is, which of the following serves as an indicator of atmospheric pollution? A is ferns, B is liverworts, C is hornworts, and D is epiphytic lichens. As the pollution increases, when pollution increases, there are lichens are the mutual these are the mutual as the pollution as we know that lichens are the mutual association of algae and fungus. So when the pollution increases in environment, or the presence of sulfur dioxide increases, we can't see lichens. We can only see the algae, because the air is heavily polluted with this sulfur dioxide, so it damages the lichens and prevents them from growing, so we can only see the algae. So the which of the following serves as an indicator of atmospheric pollution is epiphytic lichens. The next question is, checking of radiating heat by atmospheric dust, water vapor, ozone, carbon dioxide, etc. is known as A. Greenhouse effect, B. Radioactive effect, C is ozone layer effect, and D is solar effect. The answer will be uh, when the pollution increases on in environment, so the uh, carbon dioxide gases uh, gases, carbon dioxide gas, and water vapors or the dust particles will also increase. These things or these pollutants have the capacity to absorb uh, the heat radiations. As When the sunlight falls on earth, these carbon dioxide gas is transparent transparent to these radiations or to these wavelength of radiations. The carbon dioxide gas will absorb this light. It will absorb, and but when it absorb the these this gas is opaque for ultraviolet rays. The carbon dioxide gas will not re-radiate this ultraviolet rays, and hence it will increase in temperature. So the carbon dioxide gas has the capacity to absorb the heat radiation and thus increasing in temperature. And this increase in temperature mainly due to carbon dioxide gas is called greenhouse effect, that is RA. In the last decades, most serious nuclear reactor accident created MIC gas tragedy in A. Russia 1990 and Bhopal 1996. B is Ukraine 1986 and Bhopal 1984. C is Bhopal 1994 and Russia 1990. And D is Ukraine and USA 1984. In Bhopal, the Union Carbide India Limited there was a pesticide plant. uh, in that plant, the MIC methyl isocyanate gas is leaked. The harmful effect of this methyl isocyanate gas caused the death of thousands of people in Bhopal, MP, and in Ukraine, there's a place Chernobyl. In that city there was a nuclear plant, and the explosion of this nuclear plant caused the leakage of harmful gases and radioactive elements. Leakage of harmful gases and radioactive elements, and this caused the clouds of radioactive gases in the sky, and this also caused the death of thousands of people. So these tragedy were in Ukraine and Bhopal. In the last decades, most serious nuclear reactor accidents created MIC gas tragedy in as Ukraine 1986 and Bhopal 1984. Carbon monoxide is a pollutant because A. It reacts with oxygen, B. It inhibits glycolysis, C. Reacts with hemoglobin, D. Makes nervous system inactive. The excess of carbon monoxide gas in environment will cause the inhaling of this carbon monoxide. When it will inhale and will go in our body, it will react with the hemoglobin. On reaction with the hemoglobin, it will make the carboxyhemoglobin compound. As we know that a hemoglobin's function of hemoglobin is to carry the oxygen in our blood, but after reacting with carbon monoxide, this carbon monoxide will block the hemoglobin and it will resist to carry the blood oxygen in blood, or it will resist. We can feel the unconsciousness and suffocation, and this situation is called asphyxiation, and it will cause the later to the death. So the carbon monoxide is a pollutant because it reacts with hemoglobin that will cause the asphyxiation, or it will resist the hemoglobin to carry the oxygen in blood. The next question is, the ultimate environmental hazard to mankind is A. Air pollution, B. Water pollution, C. Noise pollution, and D is nuclear pollution. As we know that by air pollution, water pollution, we can suffer from some diseases, or we can see the death of the patient, and by noise pollution we can become deaf, or some headache, migraine problems. These are the not the hazards to the mankind, but because of nuclear pollution, there is a harmful effect in the genes, or harmful effect on genetic order, or it will cause the mutation in living beings. It is very dangerous to the races. It is dangerous to the human race or other living beings. The ultimate environmental hazard to mankind is our nuclear pollution, that is D. Next question is, green chemistry means such reactions which A. are related to the depletion of ozone layer, B. study the reaction in plants, C. produce color during reactions, and D. reduce the use and production of hazardous chemicals. So the green chemistry, we mean the production of substances in everyday life by using chemical reactions through which harmful reactants or reagents, the production of harmful reagents is decreased, or it will stopped, decrease, or stopping of harmful chemicals, and the aim of green chemistry is to increase the development of products and process that reduce or eliminate the use of toxic substances. So by applying green chemistry we can reduce the pollution. So green chemistry means such reactions which reduce the use and production of hazardous chemicals. The next question is effect of pollution is on crossing over or ecological balance, C linkage, and D is mutation. Um, uh, Pollution in environment, it disturbs the ecological balance. Um, there's equilibrium between living organisms and ecosystems. Living components or organisms and ecosystem. So this equilibrium is uh, d- uh, is destroyed by the pollution or pollutants, and this imbalance will cause these pollutants will disturb the equilibrium and it will cause the pollution. So the effect of pollution is mainly on ecological balance. Chernobyl tragedy occurred in that is on 26th April 1986, as we have studied in earlier questions. There's a The Chernobyl tragedy happens in Ukraine, and it caused the explosion of nuclear reactor, and it caused the death of many people. It is the equivalent tragedy as our Bhopal gas tragedy. So the answer is 26th April 1986. Odd pollutant amongst the following is A. Sulfur dioxide, B. Carbon dioxide, and C is carbon monoxide, and D is acid rain. There are two types of pollutants, uh, primary and secondary. Primary pollutants are those which release directly from their cause, like from refineries or automobiles, vehicles, or industries. But there's another type of pollutant, that is secondary pollutant. These secondary pollutants are produced from primary pollutants. These primary pollutants react to form or to produce secondary pollutants. So sulfur dioxide, carbon dioxide, and carbon monoxide, all these three are primary pollutants. But acid rain is a kind of secondary pollutant. This acid rain is formed or produced by the reaction of sulfur dioxide and oxides of nitrogen, that is our nitric oxide and nitrous oxide. These oxides of sulfur, nitrogen react with water of rain, and this will cause in the production of sulfuric acid and nitric acid, and these chemicals are acidic in nature. So there will be a decrease in pH of rainwater. uh, because of carbon dioxide, the water of rainy water, pH of rainy water is around 5 to 6, and but because of acid rain, the pH of rain water goes down till the 2 to 3. So this is called the acidic rain, because the rainy water is acidic. So the odd pollutant among these are acid rain, which is a secondary pollutant. Which of the following strategy is not useful for global warming? A. Use of fossil fuel in limit. B. Is increase in forest. C. Is increasing use of nitrogen fertilizers. And D. Use of other options in place of CFC. So, by the use of fossil fuel in limit, we can control the release of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and other harmful gases that cause the greenhouse effect. So we can reduce this greenhouse effect by the use of fossil fuel in limit. By the increase in forest, we can control the pollutant gases like carbon dioxide, because the plants will absorb these harmful gases. So we can reduce the global warming through increasing in forest. And the use of other options in place of CFC, as we know that CFC is causing the depletion of ozone layer. So in place of CFC, we can use another gases or another options to reduce the ozone depletion, and hence the global warming. So by these three methods, we can decrease the global warming. But increasing use of nitrogen fertilizers, we can't reduce the global warming. We can reduce the soil pollution. So by these all three, we can reduce the global warming. So the our odd one out is increasing use of nitrogen fertilizers. Water pollution can be stopped best by treating effluents to remove injurious chemicals, rearing more fishes, cultivating useful water plants, and spraying with DDT. So, the water pollution can be stopped best by the treating effluents to remove injurious chemicals. By treating effluents, we can the domestic and industrial wastes are stored in a dilute condition dilute condition in shallow ponds, that is called oxidation or stabilization ponds, or stabilization ponds. And when these ponds are there are some microbes added. After flourishing microorganisms, uh, flourishing of microorganisms, they will oxidize or decompose the organic waste will decompose, and by oxidation, and this water will be after decomposing these organic waste, this water will be rich in nutrients, and this water can used in fish culture, or in crop harvesting, that is our agriculture. Water pollution can be stopped best by treating effluents to remove injurious chemicals by the flourishing of microorganisms. Our answer will be treating effluents to remove injurious chemicals by oxidation or stabilization ponds. Which of the following is a water polluting factor? A is smoke, B is industrial waste, C is detergent, and D is ammonia. Smoke is the cause of air pollution. Ammonia is also cause of the air pollution. Industrial waste and detergents both are the cause of water pollution, but the main cause is industrial waste. By these industrial wastes, the water is heavily polluted. Water is heavily polluted in the water is heavily polluted because of industrial waste. These industrial wastes, which are non-usable, or these non-usable waste will cause the pollution in water. So our answer will be industrial waste, that is B. Thermal pollution of water bodies is due to A. Discharge of hot water from power plants, B. Discharge of chemicals from industries, C. Discharge of waste from mining, and D is discharges of agricultural runoff. So the thermal pollution means the temperature is increasing. So from these three, discharge of chemicals from industries and discharge of waste from mining, it will cause the soil pollution or water pollution, and discharge of agricultural runoff will also cause the both the soil and water, and discharge of chemicals, this will cause the water pollution. But discharge of heat from power plants will cause the thermal pollution, that is increase of temperature in water bodies. It is because of the water is used as a coolant. Water is used as a coolant by thermal powers or power plants and nuclear reactor. So this water is used as a coolant, and after cooling this water will become hot and it will cause the thermal pollution. So because of these three pollutants, the water is getting polluted, but because of a discharge of heat from power plants, it is causing the thermal pollution of water. So our answer will be A, discharge of heat of hot water from power plants. Measurement of the rate of oxygen consumption in unit volume of water over a period of time is done to find out A. Biogas generation, B. Biochemical oxygen demand, C. Biosynthetic pathways, and D is fermentation. The measurement of the rate of oxygen consumption in unit volume of water over a period of time is known as BOD. BOD is the amount of oxygen required, the amount of oxygen required by bacteria to break down by bacterias to break down the organic waste or organic matter in a certain volume. In a certain volume of a particular sample, certain volume of a sample of water. So the BOD is the amount of oxygen required by that bacteria to break down that organic material present in the polluted water is called BOD, and it is the measure of the amount of organic matter material in water. Means if the BOD of a sample is high, then the water will be polluted. So, the measurement of the rate of oxygen consumption in unit volume of water over a period of time is done to find out the biochemical oxygen demand, that is our B. A dental disease characterized by mottling of teeth is due to presence of a certain chemical element in drinking water. Which is that element? A. Boron, B. Chlorine, C. Fluorine, and D is mercury. The dental disease is caused by the fluorine. This fluorine in water is the main cause of fluorosis of teeth and weakening of bones in children and in adults also. So the dental disease characterized by mottling of teeth is due to presence of a certain chemical element in drinking water is fluorine. It causes the fluorosis of teeth and weakening of bones. Phosphate pollution is caused by A. Phosphate rock only, B. Agricultural fertilizers only, C. Sewage and phosphate rock, and D is sewage and agricultural fertilizers. As we know that in sewage, The waste or of detergents are flowed, and in agricultural fertilizers, they are rich in phosphates and superphosphates. So, the sewage water and agricultural fertilizers, the water from agricultural uh, fertilizers, the waste is rich in phosphates and superphosphates, and it cause the phosphate pollution. So, it is mainly by sewage and agricultural fertilizers, which are sensitive to sulfur dioxide pollution. As we studied that lichens are the mutual association of algae and fungus. So these mutual association lives in only in fresh air. When the pollutants increase, like a sulfur dioxide increases, the lichens are not seen. We can only see algae that time. So, in polluted air, in which the sulfur dioxide is in excess, we can't see the lichens. So, the lichens are sensitive to the sulfur dioxide pollution. It means more polluted air. A leak with an inflow of domestic sewage rich in organic waste may result in drying of lake very soon due to algal bloom. B. An increased production of fish due to lot of nutrients. C. Death of fish due to lack of oxygen. And D is increased population of aquatic food web organisms. So, when a lake with an inflow of domestic sewage rich in organic waste will cause the oxygen level of that lake will go down, because of algal bloom, and these blooms also release some toxic chemicals, and this due to decrease in oxygen level, the fish cannot survive in lack of oxygen. So our answer will be death of fish due to lack of oxygen, because algae will more produce in case of rich in organic waste. Organic waste will be rich in the sewage, and because of that richness, the alga will produce more, and because of that algal bloom, the oxygen level of that lake will go down, and this lack of oxygen will be the cause of death of fish due to lack of oxygen. The answer is C. And these algal bloom will release some toxic chemicals that will also cause the death of fishes. Our next question is, which of the following metal is a water pollutant and cause sterility in human being? Is manganese. Manganese cause the sterility in human beings, and it retards the sexual development, in human beings, and sperm counting. So when the metal manganese, the manganese, when water, in water, polluted water, the manganese element is in more quantity, then it will cause the sterility in human beings. Which one of the following statement pertaining to pollutants is correct? DDT is non-biodegradable pollutant. B. Excess fluoride in drinking water cause osteoporosis. C. Excess cadmium in drinking water causes blackfoot disease. And D. Methyl mercury in water may cause hepatitis disease. DDT is a non-biodegradable pollutant. Yeah, this is true, because DDT persists in the environment for a long period of time, or it is a stable compound, and the excess fluoride in drinking water causes osteoporosis. This osteoporosis is excess fluoride will cause the fluorosis and weakening of bones, but it is not the cause of osteoporosis. C. Excess cadmium in drinking water causes blackfoot disease. The excess the excess cadmium in drinking water cause a blackfoot disease. No, it's not true. Cadmium in drinking water, cadmium will cause the hepatitis disease. And methyl mercury in water may cause hepatitis disease. No, methyl mercury will cause the dangerous effect on heart and blood vessels. So and the black the blackfoot disease is caused by the fungus. So this statement is wrong. This statement is also wrong, and this statement is also wrong, because of excess fluoride in drinking water is caused fluorosis, and osteoporosis is the disease. Osteoporosis is a weakening of bones. Uh, of bones in of bones on aging. So the DDT is the statement DDT is non-biodegradable pollutant is correct, because it persists in a pollutant, and it is called stable compound in environment, or conservative or persistent pollutant, or persistent pollutant. So our answer is DDT. It is a non-biodegradable pollutant. The phenomenon in which a nutrient enrichment of a water body supports a dense growth of one or many organisms but decrease the species diversity is called: A. Biological magnification. B. Species promotion, C. Eutrophication, and D is none of the above. What is the phenomenon in which nutrient enrichment of water bodies supports a dense growth of one or many organisms is called eutrophication. Eutrophication, it is a Greek word which means eu means well and trophin means nourished. So eutrophication is a well nourished water body. So it is also called hypertrophication. Hypertrophication, it is the enrichment of water body, enrichment of water body with the nutrients, usually with an excess amount of nutrients. This process will induce the growth of plants or animals. Animals means algae, fungus, microorganisms. It will due to the increase of biomass. This biomass will cause the depletion of oxygen in the that water body, and it will have the diverse effect on fishes and other aquatic animals. So the phenomenon in which nutrient enrichment of a water body supports a dense growth of one or many organisms but decrease the species diversity is called eutrophication. Exposure of an organism to UV system causes photodynamic action. B. Formation of thymidine. C is splitting of hydrogen bonds of DNA. And D is splitting of phosphodiester bonds. DNA has maximum absorption power. Absorption at a wavelength of UV rays. Of UV rays, and when DNA is exposed to this light, exposed to this uh, light of UV wavelength, it will cause the damage and mutation, damaged and mutated mutation in DNA. So the exposure of an organism to UV system will cause the splitting of hydrogen bonds of DNA, means the DNA will damage or mutated. The answer will be C, the splitting of hydrogen bonds of DNA. The component of a living cell affected by the pollutant sulfur dioxide is A. Nucleus, B. All cell membrane system, C is cell wall, and D is plasmodesmata. Uh, the sulfur dioxide gas, it affects the cell membrane. It affects the permeability or selectivity of cell membranes. Uh, the permeability means the cell membrane will decide the to whom which chemicals to be enter in the cell, or which chemicals should go out from the cell membrane. So the permeability and selectivity of cell membrane is affected by the sulfur dioxide gas in air, the pollutant. So it will the affect the whole cell membrane system. Answer will be B, all cell membrane system, because it will affect the sulfur dioxide. It will affect the selectivity or permeability of cell membrane. Air pollution causing photochemical oxidants production includes carbon monoxide, sulfur dioxide, B. Nitrous oxide, nitric acid fumes, and nitric oxide. C is ozone, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and aldehyde. D is oxygen, chlorine, fuming nitric acid. Uh, Photochemical oxidants are secondary air pollutants in sunlight. Nitrogen and nitrogen oxides, hydrocarbons, and oxygen will interact to produce more powerful pollutants, which is known as secondary air pollutants. These air pollutants like ozone and peroxyacetyl nitrate and aldehydes. And sulfuric acid are acid rain, and peroxides which retard the photosynthesis in plants. These secondary air pollutants retard the photosynthesis, and it will cause the photochemical smoke. Smoke is the mixture of smoke and fog. It is called smoke, and this smoke will consist of ozone, peroxyacetyl nitrate, aldehyde, sulfuric acid, and peroxides. So, this air pollution causing photochemical oxidants production will include ozone, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and aldehydes, which are the secondary air pollutants and are made up of carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, oxides of nitrogen, and oxygen. It will interact with oxygen, and hydrocarbons. So it will produce by carbon monoxide, carbon dioxide, and nitric oxide, nitrous oxide, and hydrocarbons. These pollutants will react with the oxygen, and it will produce the secondary pollutants, and it will cause these secondary pollutants will cause the photochemical oxidants production. Photochemical smoke formed in congested metropolitan cities mainly consists of ozone, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and NOx, that is oxides of nitrogen, and B, smoke, peroxyacetyl nitrate, and sulfur dioxide. C, hydrocarbons, sulfur dioxides, and carbon dioxide. D is hydrocarbon, ozone, and oxides of sulfur.